The Draconians have now conquered the civilized lands to the north. You have led a struggling, starving band of refugees out of slavery. But freedom and safety lie over an impassable mountain range. There is only one way to safety. Find the doors of the ancient dwarven kingdom of Thorbardin and persuade the rulers to let the refugees pass. What price will the dwarven thanes ask? Can you succeed in your mission before the Draconians destroy the hidden camp of the refugees? Welcome to the world of Kryn and the legendary DragonLance.
I'm saying this like I know how to do it. I really don't know how to do that. Yeah,
with
YouTube.
that, we are live. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and others, to D&D Friday. Wicked Studios presents DragonLance: Dragons of Desolation, Part 3.
Oh shit! Hey, hi everybody.
What the fuck? We don't see you. This is my time to shine, guys.
All right,
Where we talk about what we're doing today. We are continuing our journey through the original DragonLance modules, and that's right, we are on Dragons of Desolation DL4. And we've got a bunch of people here with me that play this game. Let's see them. There they are. And whatever we do, we are not going to introduce KD first. That's for damn sure. So let's start with Jason.
That's kind of rude.
Hi, everybody.
Was that bullying? Does that count?
Yeah, I think so.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm not offended, so I guess it's not bullying.
There you go. See,
But
that works.
that's almost worse.
That is almost worse.
Like, I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was offensive.
Yeah, that's worse.
No, what it is you'd have to value his opinion.
Oh, that's very mean. Katie is my best friend.
Yeah, we're best friends.
Yeah, so you don't know what's what. I saw that. I can see you. That's hurtful. Anyway, Jason.
So now we're even.
But I knew it was hurtful.
Is it my turn now?
I guess so, sure.
Can I interrupt the two of you guys? Hey, everybody. My name is Jason. I am playing Zane, the Elven Wizard. He is twin brothers with Zarek.
Speaking of Zarek, why don't we talk about Kemchan and ignore Zarek?
I knew you were
altogether?
going to do that. I knew you were going to do that.
I'm starting to feel sorry for Katie to be even in this group. I'm sorry. I feel sorry for myself to be in this group. Anyway, I'm
besides
Kemchan.
Will, KD was the first. I don't remember. It was either KD or Will were the first person to join the group. I think. I don't remember.
And there it is, Adam playing favorites.
Yeah, Kemchan was the last. I'm like, I guess I need another person. Why maybe
Just
Kemchan?
one more.
All right,
And-
go on, talk. Who are you?
I'm sorry.
Who are you?
I
Who is this guy we're making fun of?
I'm Kemchan.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm
sorry, buddy.
playing Garel. I'm playing Garel, our human fighter, and sharing with Adam Flint Fireforge, his adopted dwarven fighter.
And Gaz.
Hi, I'm Gaz, and I'm playing Kurlathlon, the half-elf rogue scout.
And speaking of rogue scouts, KD, who are you playing?
Not a rogue scout.
I'm not good at segues.
Speaking of not good at segues,
Um,
hey, what are you?
I play Zarek. He's a twin brother to Zane. He is an elven fighter.
And last but certainly not least, possibly the first player here on Dragonlance, but we don't remember. Will.player!
Pew 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 pew. Hey everybody, it's me, Will.player. I am currently playing Urgrin. He is a what's the name of my god again?
Chislev.
Chislev, a priest of Chislev, a nature lover, a tree hugger, and an all-around get her done kind of guy.
And he's a bad motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
And before we get into the previously, we will just give a mention to the passing of Leonard Lakofka, who was a prolific D&D writer, wrote a number of modules, is responsible for creating Leomund. For those of you who have characters that make Leomund's tiny hut and other things. I'm not good at spells, so that's the only one I remember.
Probably the what's the least known about Leonard is he wrote probably huge chunks of the player's handbook and the DM's guide.
Yeah. So anyway,
Unaccredited.
Rest in peace, Leonard Lakofka. And they should probably give him credit for that.
You would think, right?
Damn you, Gygax. Leonard's coming for you now, baby. I don't know. That's probably... I should probably have waited for that joke. Anyway.
A little bit.
Yeah. It might be too soon for that one. Anyway, guys, previously on Dragonlance, the companions, now in the ancient dwarven mountain kingdom of Thorbardin, agreed to accompany Armin Karas, the son of Hornfell, the Thane of the Hylar Dwarves, and self-proclaimed Karas reincarnated. And Karas is, for those of you not in the know, a dwarven hero of days gone by. They agreed to accompany Armin to find and rescue his brother Pick from a Thywar dwarven prison. The group found the prison, and after Armin asked them to try to not kill any of the Thywar guards, the group slaughtered 15 of the 23 that they faced. They did leave 8 alive and unconscious. We just lost.
I distinctly
Kemchan, I think.
Yeah,
I lost Camjan.
I distinctly remember them saying, "Don't kill all of them." That's what I heard.
Go back and watch the tape.
It's probably
that's what they said.
Yeah.
No, they definitely said that. They said try not to kill.
Try not to kill. He understood that it was a battle, and he is a warrior, and that things happen. That being said, 23 things happened.
Hey, they were trying to kill us.
They were.
It's true.
You know, self-defense.
Self-defense. Yep.
So
right there with you,
I am sure that nothing will come back to haunt you because of that.
No, of course not.
So, and I know I have to move everybody around again because Kemchan left us momentarily. So bear with me, guys, as I can't do two things at once. But
hey, every Tuesday, do you want?
Wait, no, I'm in the middle of this fucking thing. Give me a minute, then you can do your pitch.
Trying to help.
So anyway, they did also rescue some dwarves from other various dwarven clans in the process. Armin thanks them for helping him. Thanks them for helping rescue his brother, and then says that they should leave quickly back to the Hylar Kingdom, and that's where we will begin our adventure tonight. After Will tells us what else is going on this channel, so I can fix stuff.
Hey, that was a good segue, Adam.
Thank
I'm just
you.
going to throw that out there. Hey, everybody. Don't forget that on Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the Wicked Studios LLC Twitch channel, we have Greyhawk Adventures. And I think they decided to go fight a really big, mean dragon. I could be wrong on this. But if you tune in on Tuesday, you'll find out. And obviously not this week because Wednesday's already passed. But next Wednesday... we are going to have the first episode of Blood and Gold.
Now, what is that exactly?
I'm glad you asked, Adam. Blood and Gold is a Deadlands Weird West story where
Is Weird West the
Mhm.
name of the system? Is Deadlands the name of the system?
This is the first edition Deadlands, so this is what Savage World grows out of. So the game Savage Worlds starts with that, and I will be playing the Reverend Cleophas Brown in all his glory.
Because Will has typecast himself as priests.
What do you? Oh, huh?
Because
I didn't even make the correlation. Cleric, priest. Oh my god!
Dude, I fucking said it last time, man.
You did. I forgot. Sorry. It's okay.
You found out something about yourself tonight, Will.
I'm a very holy man.
Apparently.
Yeah, that's it.
Dominus
You're
and
very pious.
Yes, very. Are you done?
I'm done. Yeah. So anyway,
I can tell stories. I mean,
no,
okay.
I'm good.
Right.
I'm already done.
Okay.
So, you guys are being escorted by Armin and his retinue of soldiers, and accompanying you out of here are those other prisoners. There's prisoners of different clans of dwarves. They sort of, except for the few Hylar that were there, the rest sort of scatter once you leave the prisons. And Armin says, we'll have time to talk later, and I will, as I said, I will gather the Dwarven Council to hear your plight. It will probably take some time, but thank you, Citerin77 for subscribing, which is a tongue twister. Huzzah!
Huzzah! Thanks, Citerin.
But first, we need to get out of here. I can lead you through here as safely as possible, but you must keep your eyes peeled for danger. And he then hurries, and his men hurry forward. Is it safe to assume you guys follow?
Yeah, I think that's safe to assume.
Okay.
I'm going to move you guys to a different map here. Now, this is a map that you guys actually were able to pull out of Skullcap. This was the first map you found. You are here at Northgate.
My old neighborhood in Seattle.
That's right. Yeah, the dwarves live in Seattle.
Seattle. Hey, it makes sense.
They
So,
tend... Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, please.
No, was that whole area that we went through last time? Was that all in Northgate?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. So that's
So
really
This is a huge place. Yes.
Okay.
And it took you, over an hour just to get from where you were at the beginning of the gate to you also went up a level or two to get to the prison. So you can tell that, and you guys were moving pretty quickly too. But this is a really big place. Like this, This is already a big mountain, and this goes far below the mountain depths. And it's not even like the ceilings are low. Like these are massive open spaces that you're in. If there were sunlight, you would think you were outside. And as you pass these city blocks and you're going through a residential area, you even go through a garden section. Now this is still an abandoned part of the area since the gate was closed here after the Dwarf Gate Wars, and Armin will tell you this. No one lives here. That being said, the Thywar have started to move in, if you could see on the map, they do have their kingdom here, but they're sort of branching out, which is one of the things that's causing a bit of concern from his father's side. Rodney Ford, thank you for liking the stream. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
And welcome back, Rodney.
Pretty sure that's Green Lantern.
I mean, what do you got to out him for? Maybe that he doesn't want his secret identity known.
Oh my! Well, he just said he was going to go to Facebook and like that. See, he's back. There you go. Thanks, man.
All right. So he's bringing you through over here the first road. He says the second road is very dangerous. The Thai War have taken that over. And that leads, it's not right next to it like it is on the map. It's actually above it. And you guys went back down to the first level that you were on in order to take this road because Armin Karas felt that it was safer. And I'm just getting...
So did they just name these roads as they built them, just as numbers as they built them?
Pretty much,
Like this
yeah.
was the
Looks
first
like
road
it.
we built, this
Yeah.
was the second road we built?
Right.
Okay.
It's like New York City.
Yeah.
The same, yeah.
So this is like Manhattan, there's like little neighborhoods.
Yeah,
here.
yeah, exactly.
You know,
And
Northgate
the
is
neighborhoods are the
financial
Dwarven
district.
kingdoms, yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
it looks like.
dwarves are the best builders, so
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah, they did a great job on the
They did a
original
good
Penn
job.
Station. I don't know why the humans rebuilt it because they turned it into shit. All I'm gonna say. So, is there anything that you want to ask Karis? Once you get down the first road, you're getting toward this North Hall of Justice. I'll read you the first road box text since we are playing the module here. A wide tunnel through the mountain leads into darkness. Metal tracks in the center of the tunnel are twisted and broken. The stone floor is worn smooth. Once thousands of dwarves must have walked here. Now there is only dust and emptiness, just like my soul.
Is that what it says in the box text?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Tracy Hickman must have been going through some shit while writing this. Your footsteps echo hollowly in the deserted corridor. You do see as you walk through like broken and rusted, discarded, what look like mine carts, sort of knocked off the trail on their side, upside down, some right side up, but really in disrepair. And even if any of them were working, the state of the tracks themselves are so bad that you wouldn't make much progress. Anything you guys want to ask Armin or talk about to each other, or do you want to move on?
I'm just going to make sure that I'm walking next to him.
I want to ask Armin if he remembers anything from his life as Karas. Because
Well,
I'm very interested in this idea that he is the official reincarnation of Karas.
I can feel his spirit within me, and I've knew from a young age. While I can't remember specific memories, I I know that his spirit is within me.
Oh. Okay, and everyone else thinks that you are the reincarnation of Karas?
Of course.
Like everyone else agrees with you. Okay, I'm just,
and then-
just wondering, yeah.
Roll a perception check.
Hold on, I don't even have my sheet up, sorry.
Zarek's definitely like, oh, that's really cool. I didn't know that could happen.
Yeah, Curly, you definitely notice a couple of his men in the back snickering.
Okay.
And there's some
Yeah.
that are nodding their head like, oh yeah, man, this is the real deal. But then there's some other guys who are like, this guy's full of shit.
I understand what you're saying, being full of divine righteousness like myself.
Are you
Wait.
reincarnated?
No, just blessed by the gods.
Yes. I was meaning to ask, and please don't
Fire
think
away.
me too forward. And you healed me,
Yep.
but The go- he's a man of few words. I was under the impression that the gods left man before the cataclysm.
Sorta.
So how is it? It's like, are all humans? Okay.
No, what you see what happened here was that these here fellas, and he points at the rest of the group, they went and they stirred up the gods again and brought them back.
Is that
should
true?
thank-
You brought back the gods.
Yeah, tell them that thing you told them about the dinner plates.
Yeah,
The
we
dinner plate?
we found these discs in the ruins of Paxtarchus and brought them back with us. Apparently, they held the key to awakening Paladine.
Luckily, the council had a laserdisc player.
Yes.
That was lucky.
It was mostly our friend Kitten.
Yeah,
She's
it was-
not here right
It
now.
was definitely.
You kidding?
Very interesting, and
Yeah, she's in love with some kind of jerk
It's a great guy, that Riverwind.
named River Wine or something like that.
yeah, so interesting, and I'm sure my father and the other Thanes will be interested in this story as well. So you guys continue through what's called he tells you is called the North Hall of Justice. It's also conveniently written on your map. Effectively, it's just a small complex of city blocks similar to what you guys saw going through Northgate. Again, it is abandoned, fallen into disrepair. Armin, tells you that this once served as government offices and a second line of defense if anyone were to get through the North Gate. And he says, I'm also concerned that the Thywar have posted people here. We spotted some on our way through. So keep your eyes clear. And if we, I'm trying to ignore the chat here, guys, but that's hard. So anyway, so he says, if the Thanes do allow your people in, I'm still concerned about what the Thywar may do. But that's not for us to worry about. We'll continue on. So you continue on the first road down to what's called the West Warrens. After many long hours of travel, you got here, let's say you left first thing in the morning? You probably got here around 10 or 11 in the morning. Spent about an hour and change getting to the prison to rescue Pick. So you figure it's probably at this point, getting on to evening time. The road of the Thanes opens up into a large natural cavern. The cavern teems with life, huge mushrooms, strange fungi, and other strange plants. This is basically, Armin tells you, what they have as wilderness under the mountain. And much of these of the Warrens are under cultivations, and farmers from several of the Dwarven kingdoms raise food here. Similarly, they do this in the North Warrens, the East Warrens, and the South Warrens. And you do see as you go through, different farms. You see ponies pulling carts. full of strange vegetation and fungus. You get weird looks from the farmers themselves, even Flint. But when they see that you are with Armin, they don't approach. They stay where they are. They sort of they do bow in reverence to Armin. It's kind of half-assedly bowing to him because he's not the Thane, although he is his son. And when they see Pick, they do the same. You go through the West Warrens, take a left, and head up through the 6th Road, which is very similar to the first road that you were on. However, this one is actively used by dwarves. There are carts here, mine carts, they look like, although fancier, and they have seats in them. They are being pulled by a strange contraption that makes a lot of noise. It looks like a very early train engine, but you guys don't know what a train engine is, so it's very surprising. Thick black smoke comes out from the chimney on top. What do you call a chimney on a train? It's not probably
Smokestack.
Forestack. Yeah.
Or chimney.
I call everything chimneys. What do you do? I just sit down in the chimney. What? No, the chimney. That's a couch. Oh, okay. He does lead you to one of these, and he says, "Please enter." And there's one that's big enough for all of you, Pick and Armin, and then the rest of the dwarves get into a cart behind. Do you enter?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So once you enter, it's a surprisingly smooth ride once you get going. Like, it jerks a little bit at first when it gets going, but once it moves, it really is a marvel of modern dwarven technology. Armin tells you that he is bringing you to the Hylar kingdom, and it's called the Life Tree of the Hylar. And he kind of smiles with pride as he says that. It takes about an hour by this train car, basically, here, to get to the docks. The ride ends at one of the Hylar wharfs. The wharf looks out onto what Armin says is the Urkon Sea. And it reveals an amazing sight, and I've got a little handout for you guys.
How lit is everything? I know you said before
It's
there was
very
like
lit
that
here. There's
fungi
no
sort of
problem with
stuff.
light. Everyone can see perfectly well. There's plenty of light here. Where is? Did it not save? I do not have a.
So sneaky.
Let's see. Unless it went somewhere else. Nope. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Anyway,
You can draw it for us, Adam.
I'm not gonna draw it. I will. I do have it on here. Okay, so I will make one quickly for you. Oh, there it is. It's in the wrong spot. Show to players. Show to everybody. All right. You see it on your map?
Yes.
Yes.
What you are seeing, you see the little boat down below, over here in the corner. The boats are all run by this pulley system that takes you from the dock to the center of this giant stalactite. Or stalagmite. God damn it, I had this the last time. Now I forget which one's which. And is truly one of the wonders of the world of Kryn. You guys have never seen anything like this before. It's an immense stalactite. I was right the first time. Half a mile high and as wide on top, inside which an entire city has been carved. There are, effectively the elevator type things that you guys saw in the North Gate are in here. However, they're much more advanced and a lot fancier that bring you from the bottom all the way up through the top. There are a number of different floors to go to. Armin gestures for you to get into one of these boats. Flint is very nervous about this.
Oh, yeah.
I
have a question.
yes.
Are those power lines?
Those are not. They look like power lines in the picture. They're that's the rope and pulley system. So effectively,
oh, gotcha.
Once the boat is connected to it, and on the other end, it's turned mechanically, but effectively will then pull the boat through. It's like a Disney ride.
It's the Jungle Cruise.
Yeah, exactly. Through this this dark black water. You see a lot of dwarves going about their business here. Again, a lot of strange looks. You hear like some of like the little kids and and saying like, "They look weird, mommy. They're too tall. But they look weird. Look at that big one with the beard. He thinks he's a dwarf. He looks stupid." Things like that. And like the
half hammer kid.
The parents try to hush them, but you can tell like just by the looks on their faces that most, if not all, of these dwarves have never been outside these walls and have never seen a human, an elf, a half elf, or whatever Zane is nowadays.
That's
an
right.
elf-like guy, elf adjacent.
They're about to see a whole bunch of draconians and dragons here in a minute.
In exactly 1 minute, you're right. How did you know? No.
Because we left the door open for them.
You did leave the fucking door open for them. So Armin then takes you, you get there. And it takes about probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes on this boat here too, because it doesn't move at a brisk pace. But it is relaxing, and there you guys do get a little bit of a respite from the fighting that you've done since you've been here and the travel that prior to getting here. So you've been on your feet for hours walking for most of the day. So this little 25-minute break feels pretty good at this point. Flint won't admit that, but he feels it too. You get to into the bottom, and it opens up into it's almost like a Grand Central Station, for those of you who know what that looks like, area. And from there's multiple giant hallways that go off in multiple directions. There's some of these lifts that right in front, and then also ones that go down a way. And he says, "We're going to use this one here." Takes you not far from the dock to this lift, and brings you to you're on this lift now for a while too, and it takes you to the top level. He says it will take some time, and it is late to get the council together. I will speak to my father and put in a word for you. Again, I give you my thanks for helping me with my brother, who does tend to get himself into all sorts of mischief, and picks he sort of grins, tries to stop himself from doing it, but can't, and says, "Yes, thank you for rescuing me. I appreciate that. I'm sure I could have found a way out eventually, but That's what happens when you stray too far into Thywar territory, I suppose. He says, Pick and I will take our leave of you now, unless you need anything from us. My men will bring you to a suitable location for you to rest.
Girl's like, can we get food?
Of course, yes. That will all be, everything will be taken care of for you.
Like a lot of food?
Yes, there is an inn that, well, truth be told, hasn't been used in some time. It's still in the, well, a good neighborhood, but sort of on the outskirts. But you will be safe there, and you will find lodging, and my men will bring food to you as well. So he then, bows, and so does Pick, and they leave in one direction. The other dwarves escort you to in the opposite direction. Again, you're walking for about probably 30-45 minutes. You come to an area of town, and this is a really, like, the buildings here, while very similar to the ones you saw on the way here in Northgate and in the what do you call it, the North Hall of Justice. These are in impeccable shape. There's a lot of dwarves going about their business here, or just relaxing and at the taverns. And you pass a number of them on the way. You finally get to sort of a darkened end of the street. It's a bit of a dead end, and there is what you can see used to be a really beautiful tavern called the Elf Song. And the guard says, here, you will be safe in here. He unlocks the door, opens it for you. It's really dusty. There are, chairs stacked up on top of the tables, as if the bar closed for the evening and just hasn't reopened. So, there's no lights on in here, but there are, sconces with torches that you can easily light. He says there are rooms upstairs. There are plenty for each of you to have your own. We'll send for food immediately. I can imagine that you're very hungry. So he closes the door. You guys are in this tavern. Everybody roll a perception check.
Oh, great.
Bugs.
13 seems to be a popular number here so far.
If everybody rolls a 13, we should treat that as a nat 20.
Well, they didn't.
Yeah, no.
Grill doesn't see much.
No. Ergrin. You notice while everyone else is looking, when Zarek and Curlithlon are looking for bugs, Zane is apparently a little tired from the journey, and it just sits back in a chair that has been left out.
Just like...
Yeah, close to a fireplace. Yeah. But Flint, and Garel is just, he's looking around. He's going behind the bar, checking the tab to see if there's anything in there still.
Totally check the taps, definitely.
There's some really stale dwarven ale in there, and also some elven wine.
Found some wine.
Oh, well aged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a ton, but there's probably like 6 or 7 bottles.
Found enough for me.
But Flint and Ergrin, because Flint is still huffing and puffing a little bit. You can see he's still really uncomfortable being here. And while he certainly helped during the battle and has no love lost for the Thywar, it's clear that he has no love lost for the any of these mountain dwarves. So he's standing by the door. Ergrin is still close by. You guys hear as the door closes a click as if it's being locked.
Of course.
Well, how do you do? Looks like these fellers don't trust us enough to keep us, well, they locked the door.
Flint's like, who's not surprised? Anyone? Not surprised.
Yeah, not surprised.
Do we need it open?
If we only had a thief.
Not that kind of people.
I can follow.
You're more of a scout wilderness kind of feller, I can tell.
Yeah.
Do you want me to break it open? I can just break it open.
Nah,
I mean, I think we
can
could probably just wait and see
Yeah.
if they come back and let us out within a reasonable amount of time.
I mean, we could probably bust that down anytime we want.
Yeah,
so.
well, Flint
Let 'em
says you can bust it down, but keep in mind there are hundreds of thousands of dwarves in here.
Really? Oh, what the hell we worried about then?
Gorill's halfway through a bottle of wine. Why would we?
Yeah.
Why would we?
All right, yeah, give me some of that. Come on.
Flint will go around the back of the bar too, and he'll take one. He takes one, two bottles. He tosses one to Zarek from on the other side of the bar and opens his. He says maybe we should light a fire too in here. It's
Yeah, Ergrin's going to
Is
go
there a
about
hearth?
making
there
some
is
tea.
yeah, right next to the
creative.
chair that Zane is sitting in, and Zane found like the old like leather chair. It's in disrepair. It's a little worn, but it makes it even more comfortable, you know. So
That's awesome. Is there like a chair we could break up, or stools, or wood, or something we could put in?
yeah,
the
there are
hearth?
plenty of tables and chairs made out of wood
Great.
in here.
So there's no actual wood for the fire, though? Or coal or anything?
There's none that's still
Let's
good.
let's
There's
bring
you
a
can
couple
see like
chairs.
the old burnt embers that have been there for probably 10 years, maybe more.
That's fine. Then we can bust the hell.
Gorill's
out of
already
some
breaking up
furniture.
a table with his with a mallet.
Throw it in the
He's
hearth, and
opening
then I'll
up a
start a
second
fire.
bottle. Crash. Gunk.
So there's no water in here, then, huh?
Water, no. Like I said, you got some wine and you got some stale, skunky dwarven ale.
Was there any? Excuse me. Was there any like a well or anything that we passed on the way coming up here besides that big ass lake?
A well, no. This is like it's like that. It's like if you were looking for a well in the middle of New York City.
I'll go open up a window because there's windows on this joint. Right?
Yeah, the windows are all nailed shut too. Previously, yeah.
Previously, on DragonLance.
Yeah, the windows were nailed shut. Moving on.
I'll pull the nails out. I'll take my time. I'll pull the nails out. I'm not going to try and destroy anything.
Okay.
Then I'll open up the window and then I'll holler out to some dwarves.
You see the guards. The guard that locked the door is standing by the door.
Oh, is
with
he
another
cool?
guard.
Then,
Yeah.
all right. Well, then do they open the door? Because I'm not being.
No, he's like, hey, what do you need?
Oh yeah. It'd be mighty nice of y'all if you could get me some water.
Oh yeah, we've sent people for food and sustenance.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was a little bit
Yes.
jumping. The
It takes some
gun there.
time.
Yeah. I just figured there'd
Yeah.
be water in this place, but
Yeah.
there ain't any. Been walking a while, you know. We walked from the entranceway, came all the way here, killed a whole bunch of people, freed that one feller. I heard he's
Yeah, we were there.
Sunday. Oh, you heard that? All that.
We
You heard
were
all
walking
that-
with you for the entire
all that
for
stuff we did.
hours. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I just
we
wanted to let
we talked about my family, my
I
children.
wasn't-
You,
sorry.
I mean, yeah.
I was-
You even commented that my son's name Derek is you have a cousin named Derek. We talked about this on the
Huh.
way.
That was you, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, all right. My mistake. So,
Behind you, yes, they all look alike. I know.
Oh no.
No.
No,
If-
no, they don't.
Well, just so you
That was
know,
Flint saying that to be mean to.
Oh, totally mean.
Oh, all right.
Oh, that's fine.
Yes, he wasn't saying.
If it's Flint, it's
yes.
fine.
Oh yeah, no, that's
Zane
He was
Dark
being
Ultimate.
facetious.
Oh.
just
Let me translate Kemchan for you guys.
make sure that they get some water.
Yes, of
Haven't-
course. They've already gone, and they'll return
All
as
right,
quickly as possible.
you fellas have a good night.
You too. Yes.
I'll put the nails back in the window.
So all of a sudden, you're just hammering them back.
Yeah.
They just, yeah, you can see them through the window, like looking at you strangely, but okay.
That's funny.
So, yeah, so anyway, so did you guys light the fire?
Yep.
Gorell broke up some wood, light the fire, warms the place right up. There's a staircase in the back. It's a small inn. There's basically
Zane kicks off his boots, warms his feet.
yeah. His feet are also skeletal.
Nice.
I'm kidding. That was
Zarek wants to play cards. Like he'll sit out and start like playing solitaire. Like Zarek's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he plays a mean solitaire.
Nice.
It's elven solitaire. It's a little more difficult.
What about the rest of you guys as you wait?
I'm just waiting by the door.
Yeah, the flue is the flue shuts, so the smoke just comes right back into the.
Oh no!
That was Gillen NC. Thank you for for fucking them up. No, just kidding. There's you do
Huzzah?
but Gorell notices it afterward. It's like, oh shit, and just like flips it open. Yeah,
God.
been a while since I've been indoors.
After 3 of us pass out.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna need Curlathon to make us a death save. All right. What is everybody else doing?
Zane is kicking his feet up by the fire, reading from his books.
Okay. Curlathon, you notice this.
I go over and I pull up a chair, or like find another chair, and very loudly sort of pull it over next to Zane and sit down right next to him. So what you
Zarek's
reading?
like, can you keep it quiet? I'm trying to play solitaire.
He needs to concentrate when he plays.
Like, I
Gorell's
only have so
over
many brain cells. Like, I need to dedicate them all to this.
Derek, girls over your shoulder going, no, go put that there. Put that
Gorell.
there.
Yeah,
No, right there.
and everything he says is wrong.
Yeah.
Every move is the wrong move.
Rules are
He's
different.
like-
The rules are different in Elven Girl.
He's like 3 sheets to the wind already. He's on his 3rd bottle of wine.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
He's
On an
drank
empty
like
stomach.
Zarek opened his bottle and like took one sip, and then Gorell just drank the rest of it.
Yeah, yeah, just takes it out of his head. You drinking this? Thanks.
You're done with that, right? All right. Right there. Put it right there.
All right, Curlathon was asking a question to Zane.
Did he? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I just I dragged my chair over and sat down. I was like, so what you reading?
One of the books I found. Spell book.
Oh, looks interesting.
It
Is that
is.
the one you got from Pax Tarthic? You know,
a
one
lot
of
of
those
holes in your story, Curlathon. There was Pax Starkus and
Zaxaroth.
You didn't. Yeah. Well, no, Zaxaroth. You did. No, Zaxaroth is where he did find one. You know, he found
Yeah.
one there. Yeah. And
Wait, I
then
thought Pax
also-
Starkus was the one where he got the blue spell book off the Dragon's Horde and Pax Starkus, right?
No, that was
That was-
Zaxaroth.
That was Zaxaroth.
Xeroth. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
That was
I
a
get
book
them
that you asked me
confused.
to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got one in Zaxaroth, I got one in Pax Tarkus, and then I got the other one in the last 2 in Skullcat.
Wow. And are you concerned at all that as you get more of these books, and I kind of gesture at his face?
Sorry.
Ouch.
What is
I'm a little concerned, I got to tell
something
you.
wrong?
Well, I know we don't have a lot of reflective surfaces with us, but maybe, touch yourself.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Your face feels smooth.
Don't think you don't think that you've been physically affected since in the last, how long have we been doing this up to this point? Like, it's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
A month?
It's been it's been probably about a month.
Okay. Yeah. You don't think you've gone through any physical changes in the last month or so?
Magic takes a toll on your body. And
Wow. Okay. I got nothing to say to that. That makes sense to me.
Your hands.
I'm not sure how
kinda,
worth it is if it's taking that kind of toll on you, but
Yeah.
just I hope you're taking care of yourself.
I'm trying. We're looking to stop the dragons, and I guess we're going to use whatever tools we have at our disposal.
Well,
you
just
you have advantages. I have my advantages. Try to use them the best we can.
just so you know, Sicily was always looking for other fellers that would, like to spread the good word, and
What?
she don't take near as much of a toll on you that you got going on over there.
Here's
Just
a pamphlet.
something to keep in mind.
That magic from the gods does seem to extract a lot less of a price. I mean, Ergrin does have a point.
I mean, I got to, make sure not to harm things in a certain way and pray.
There are different.
You sound. Hold on.
paths.
Time out. I'm sorry to interrupt. You remind me as if you were a cleric in a and like waiting for Guffman, or like what's his name? What's that guy's name
I don't even know what
who
waiting
makes
for
Spinal
Guffman
Tap?
is.
What's his name?
Christopher Guest.
Christopher
Christopher
Guest.
Guest,
It's like
yes.
it's like you're a cleric in a Christopher Guest movie. That's what you said.
There you go.
That's what you remind me of.
That's pretty
That's me.
accurate.
That's me.
All right, please continue.
The magic that Ergrin uses doesn't have. There are different paths that you can walk that unlock different secrets. Some of the secrets that I've come across are not readily accessible to people that don't take on the burdens that I have.
Fair
Like what?
enough.
I'm sorry?
Like
I
what?
didn't hear you, Kurt.
The secrets? Like
Yeah.
like you said you've discovered important secrets that you couldn't
He said,
in
like
another
what?
way.
I'm
Like what?
I'm Gary. I just didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Well, I've unlocked some spells that can help us on our journey. I've unlocked some abilities that will allow me to augment my magic and try to help us stop these dragons from destroying the world.
That's incredibly unspecific.
Well, as I unlock more secrets, I'll let you know what they are. But
You haven't let me know what the ones you already unlocked were.
you want to know my spell list? I'll tell you what I can do.
I mean, one concrete example of what you're getting for whatever's happening to you is kind of what I'm getting at.
Well, the turning you invisible and maintaining those tentacles that stopped several of the oncoming prison guards. That was one example.
Okay.
The ability to scout on people from far away. That's another example.
Bergeron, can you do anything like that?
But,
What he just said.
well, not particularly. I mean, I can do
Okay.
some helpful stuff, and I don't got no tentacles. Well, I'll take that back. I do. Nothing in the invisible. Stop it.
That was a little bit, I don't know.
That was a little ominous.
disturbing.
Yeah.
I do.
I got my own kind of
Now that I
tentacles.
think about it, sometimes I forget about the tentacles, and he just lifts up his shirt.
Pulls out a full ox out of his pack.
I can't really turn invisible except, well, maybe if we was in a forest or something like that, I'd be hard to see, but
Ooh, me
I'm
too.
not trying to hide anything from you. The secrets that are unfolding to me are a mystery to me as well. I don't know exactly what they are, but so far they've seemed very helpful. As I learn more, I will let you know. I honestly don't want to hide anything from anybody. My path is very straightforward. I'm looking to stop the dragons from coming and taking over the world.
Well, I'm glad we're all agreed on that. Just sometimes it seems like you're almost a completely different person nowadays. and it's just hope you're doing okay.
I appreciate your concern.
You gotta admire a feller who's willing to give up his feet and hands and whatever to help out a cause.
Fair enough.
It's only the skin and muscle and nerve.
Yeah, my feet and hands are fine. It's just the skin
Oh,
and muscles on my hands.
I thought your hands were skeletal, but
But my
your
hands are
face is
skeletal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
that's what I was
feet
gonna
are
say.
His
Well,
feet are
yeah.
great.
My feet are great.
Yes.
He's
That's
got
how-
shoes.
that's the-
You got shoes on, so
He got a
Urgen's just
pedicure
assuming.
earlier. He looks wonderful.
He takes off his shoes. They look exactly like
They're
Zarek's.
perfectly manicured.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're nicer than Zarek's.
Yeah.
Part of the bargain.
It's part of the bargain. Your feet are great, but everything else is just garbage.
He models sandals in for magazines.
All right, Urgen's gonna go back over to the window.
Zarek's the one that got shitty feet. Like, as
Got a
he gets
club
more
foot,
magic, like
corns,
Zarek's
bunions.
feet just.
Yeah.
Bro, what's going on?
Is that a hangnail too? Oh.
I'm sorry, dude.
Gotta go out.
You going back to the window, Urgen?
Yeah, I'm gonna start taking the nails out again.
Okay. They come out pretty easily. You didn't have a hammer, so you just
Right.
All right.
I'm just gonna ask about water again.
Yeah. No,
It's been 2 minutes.
yeah, I did.
I know, right?
You're like that annoying guy at a restaurant who the waiters fucking hate.
You got it.
Yeah. You see those guys in the distance?
No.
Look
Which
harder.
one? Over.
Two guys walking toward us in the distance.
The one with the dog.
No, that's that. No, the one. There's two of them, and they're holding trays.
You got some good eyes there, son.
That's your.
Oh yeah, there they
That's
are,
how
right
this
there.
episode's gonna go.
Yep.
That's your food. It's coming.
Well, excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Then I'll close the window and start putting the nails back.
Yeah, all right.
He wants the bed open.
A little while later, a couple minutes later, the door unlocks and opens, and two more dwarves come back with huge trays of food and water.
Excellent.
Put it down on one of the tables, and say, "Is there anything else that you need before we go?"
How much water did they bring?
They brought 4 gallons.
Yeah, not to be a stickler here, but I think we're gonna need a little bit more water.
The guard who was standing by the door was talking to me before. Says, "Did you not bring any water with you on your journey here? Because
Well, not enough.
That really
I've been traveling, son. I'd like
right.
to
And
take.
travelers usually bring enough water for the trip. What
Well,
happens if you didn't get in and you had to go back? What if we weren't here to give you water?
If
If you're gonna be traveling and you look like adventurers, if you're
I'm
gonna be
sorry,
an
I
adventurer,
didn't
you
realize
probably
it.
should-
that there's water rationing down here. I don't want to put you fellers out at all.
We'll send for some more water.
I'd appreciate it.
And they leave. They close and lock the door.
Then I'll start making tea.
Yeah, Captain Mymorph wants to know if you can create water.
I was gonna ask that too.
You are a fucking cleric.
Yeah.
Of course I can.
You can lie on that. That's
I'm
fine.
sorry, but this here turkey got a little cold on the walk over. If we get, can we just send this back? Maybe put it on the stove for another couple minutes. That'd be great. Thank you.
When you bring it out, maybe you know one of them really heavy towels. Just go ahead and lay that on over the top.
This asparagus is a little smushy. I like a crisp asparagus. All right, so you guys get your food. You eat. It's reasonably good. And there's another knock on the door a little while later. It opens, and they say, "We have word from Armin Karas that he will be back in the morning to get you, and the council will receive you then." So he says he hopes you have a comfortable night and to get some rest, and then leaves and closes and locks the door.
Wait a second there, fella.
He doesn't stop.
No, that's just rude. We're gonna need more water for the morning. So before Erdgren goes to bed, he's gonna go take the nails out, and he'll bug the guards one more time at least.
Yeah. The guards don't look at you, but they take their beards and they sort of split them in half and then stick them in their ears and just sort of stuffs them in. So the hair in their beard is stuffed in their ears to make it so they can't hear you as well.
Well, that's just rude, son. You could just say that I can't help you, but that's all right. I understand. I don't like going stinky before, and then I'll talk to him for like a half hour.
All right. If any of you guys wander upstairs, there are rooms. Again, they're not in great shape. I mean, there are, the beds are there. They're pretty dusty. I mean, you got to hit them to get the mites and bed bugs out, and and they'll run and scurry under the floorboards when you do. But they are. It's a bed. You haven't had one of those in a while. So,
Bro, can you do your magic to make the dust go away?
Yep. I'll press the digitation, some of the dust away.
Okay.
Clean up the rooms, makes them a little more to an elven standard.
Okay. And you can see that this, like the beds in here they look like they're elven make, and elven sized. So Gorell is going to have a little bit of a trouble fitting, but it would be better than if it were a dwarf size bed. So you're starting to get, as you've been, going through and hanging out in the tavern, seeing that this was probably an old elven tavern. That was used for, since then, but probably not for elves, just based on the history that But when it was originally built, that's probably what it was for. Anything else you got? Oh, so anything you want to do in the evening time. And Zane, so let me ask another question. Is anybody sharing a room? Did you move any beds to share in a room? There goes Kim-chan again.
Imagine the twins would.
Yeah.
Okay, so Zarek would have to just, slide a bed from another room into that one, but there's plenty of space. So anybody want to do anything overnight? I have a feeling that, thank you, Snowbound, for subscribing.
Huzzah!
Actually, Snowbound gifted, or somebody, I don't know.
I gifted.
Wow, Will gifted a whole bunch of subs.
I did.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Thank you, Will, for subscribing for Canadian Ancient Gamer, too, as well as Snowbound. Anyway, thank you, Real Longshot, for unwittingly subscribing.
Unwittingly. Okay.
All right, Zane, is there anything you want to do in the evening?
Yeah. So, Zane's gonna spend
Lord Ford, thank you for your subscription.
A little bit of extra time down in the main room by the fire.
Okay.
Kind of going over his books and seeing if there's anything.
SPK 82718. I'm not sure if you subscribed or Will did it for you, but
Huzzah.
Seeing if there's any new direction or anything that he can glean from the pages and the magic within.
Sorry, repeat that because I was trying to get rid of all of these subscription things from my screen here.
So Zane's going to spend a little bit of extra time downstairs by the fire, going over his books, trying to see if in the quiet of the night anything speaks to him from within the pages, and if the magic tells him on any new advice as to where to find more tools to fight these dragons.
Got it. So one, as you study the spell books, The first one, which is more of a guide than spells, comes a little easier to you. You feel like you're starting to get the gist of some of the techniques that it's talking about. And while you're doing that, you hear a voice that's hard to distinguish from your own. In your head, say, "Yes, there are more books, plenty of them. There's a library in Tarsus. Some reside there. The rest are in Palanthus, the great library. They will have the rest of the answers that you are looking for."
Tarsus and Palanthus.
I got it written down.
Yes.
Have I heard of either of these places?
Oh, yeah. Tarsus is famous for their... it's a port town, famous for their white-winged ships. It's on the southern end of the continent. You've never been there. This is as far south as any of you besides Gorell and Flint have been. Gorell and Flint have been in this general area. The rest of you, Zane and Zarek, haven't really been below Qualinesti. Besides, well, I take that back. You were in Wayrith, the forest there, but again, that's just a little bit south and still northwest of where you are right now. So, Tarsus, you would know, is a few days' journey south from here. Not sure exactly how many days, but probably under a week. Palanthus is far north, and it is one of the. It's really the most beautiful and greatest city in left on Ansalon, which is this continent. Left. It's in the Salamnik region. Thank you, Storm Power, for following. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
That would take a very long time to get to from where you are right now. I mean, you're looking at months.
That's farther.
Yes. And thank you, Chris Seaman, for liking the stream. Huzzah!
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 All right. Anything else you want to do?
No, that's it for now.
Oh, I had a question.
Sure.
Would Zarek or Zane recognize like the beds like from any specific region or anything like that, or is it not? You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
it's a good question. They're definitely Qualinesti made.
okay.
And you guys would know that while they had a much better relationship with the Hill Dwarves, and frankly, the Hill Dwarves came originally from this mountain as well. And then there are other dwarven kingdoms, but this is the main one. But they had basically started with all of the, the pleas and the throwing of money to the dwarves to build cities and structures and roadways, and as well as their woodworking and metalworking abilities. So the dwarves themselves generally wanted to just stay by themselves in this mountain. Would be perfectly happy and have been perfectly happy, the ones that are here right now, living alone just among the dwarves. But the more that these tradesmen, or trade dwarves, I don't know how I guess tradesmen, we'll just use that. The more they spent out in the out among the rest of the world, began to, look at the other races of Kryn differently. They were a lot more open-minded when it came to, interrace marriages and, and just the old ways of the dwarves just didn't seem like they were, it seemed like they needed a change. So they decided that they were going to then stay, outside and create their own kingdom, because the rest of the dwarves, the mountain dwarves, did not agree with their line of thinking. They were the ones who helped the elves create Pax Tharkus, which has obviously now been overrun by the dragon armies, but previously to that, it was really built as a monument of the friendship between those dwarves and the elves, which is why it's situated where it is between the Corollas Mountains, where the dwarves are, and Qualinesti, where your elves are, and they sort of the emotional and mental journey that that these dwarves, the hill dwarves, went on, were very similar to the things that the Qualinesti elves went through when they split from Sylvanesti, which was a much more a structured and old school way of thinking. So there was that kinship lasted really until the Cataclysm, when everybody just sort of shut their doors to themselves and kept to themselves, in an effort to keep themselves safe and their people safe, but also because there was a lot of finger pointing on who was responsible. Everyone, except probably the humans, could agree that it was, the humans were the biggest culprits, and their hubris when it came to the gods was the biggest culprit of the Cataclysm. However, the dwarves and the elves always had a different way of looking at things, and and their relationship to the gods was always very different too. So that sort of soured the relationship a bit.
Cool. Thanks.
Anything else anybody wants to do before morning? All right, so you guys, we're going to take a quick break, since we might as well stop here before we get into the next part of the story. You'll get, obviously, a full rest. So anything that you guys, any hit points that you lost, any spells that you need back, you'll have everything back up to snuff there. And your rest goes uninterrupted. There's no issues.
I'm back, sorry.
That's okay. We weren't talking to you anyway.
I know.
All right, so guys, thank you for hanging out with us on a D&D Friday for DragonLance, and we will be back momentarily, so don't go anywhere, guys. Scott Marsh on YouTube, thank you for subscribing. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Huzzah.
I came back just in time.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys in a moment. Be right back. BRB. Bitches. And we're back. Thank you, ladies, gentlemen, and others for hanging around here on D&D Friday as we play Wicked Studios presents DragonLance, Dragons of Desolation, Part 3.
Are you starting to talk like Ergrin? Is that what it is?
Maybe.
You got a little more lilt going on.
Got
That's
a little
nice.
more. We're
Got a
going to
little
play
more.
ourselves a little Dungeons and Dragons. So you all just kick back, put your heels up,
Now,
relax,
see,
maybe get yourself a little sweet tea.
See, that's a southern accent. Ergrin doesn't
Yeah,
have a
you're
southern
more of a
accent.
Texan accent.
It's more of a western accent.
All right. So the morning comes. You are awoken by the sounds of the heavy feet of dwarven boots. They enter. Armin Karis is there and says, "When are you ready? The council is almost ready to see you. It'll take us about half an hour to get there, but I wanted to warn you that it appears that some of your people have also entered into the gate. Because we didn't know that they were coming, and nor have they been welcome yet, we didn't have anybody waiting, and there were deaths. Roll 2D. Somebody roll a 2D10.
I'll roll the 2D.
It was Will's fault.
I'll-
He gets to roll
Will do it.
Oh yeah, we'll do it.
I sent the message. So I'll do it. 2D6, you say?
2D10.
D10.
How many
Oh,
refugees did you kill, Erdrin?
5.
Only 5. And this was just the scouting mission because they couldn't get everybody through that narrow pass. It says they are.
Let me get this straight, Argrim.
Armin.
Armin, sorry about that. There's some beraggled refugees come up down around this way, and you were threatened by them. So
You do remember when you entered, there were Thywar dwarves attacked. Yes, they
Alright.
also attacked these people.
I hear you.
They did take prisoners. However, 5 of them were murdered.
Guess we should
in
have
the
wiped
streets.
out more of them suckers when we had a chance.
Now, did you know that they were coming?
Yeah, I told them.
That you
Oh, jeez.
probably should have told me.
Yeah, that's my oversight. I apologize.
Oh my god.
Oh.
At least he admits it.
I just got kind
there's
of
not a-
caught
see-
up in everything, killing dwarves and what have you.
Chislev is really hard up for followers, luckily for Ergrin.
He loves
take
nature, man.
anybody.
She loves nature. I mean, he loves. Anyway,
They
it's
love
all about.
nature.
It's all about the trees,
Yeah.
and he loves his trees.
Anyway, they have been taken to the High Hall and as prisoners, but they've been treated well. The rest of your people are still outside.
So you took some prisoner and then
No, the Railguard,
No,
the
the
Thywar, and they are now waiting in the council chambers. You will see them there. But again, we could have avoided all of this if I were just to have been made aware.
Everybody looks to Ergrin.
Yeah. Because Ergrin didn't even
Like
tell you
tapping our
guys.
feet. No, I know. That's
Yeah.
why we're all looking to him.
I just thought that these here dwarf fellas would be more accommodating. That's my mistake. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Well, Harmon thinks to himself, we've locked ourselves up in a fucking mountain for 300 fucking years.
Well, the door was open, son.
Took away all of the welcome mats before doing this.
It was almost as if he was wanting folk to come on in. I mean,
Leave it to the
You
humans.
broke the door.
that's not totally true.
It's completely true.
A feller chucked back on the lever, and I think it was defective.
He will lead you to the council. I'm going to move you to a new page here.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
So you can see who you're meeting with. And I will move.
Ooh.
All right, so. No box text here. Okay. Just making sure. So you guys enter this giant ornate hall. I mean, it is huge. It is cavernous. It is that huge. It is beautiful. Expertly made. Flint, despite himself, gets a little tear in his eye from the dwarven workmanship.
He always tears up at dwarven workmanship.
He does, yes. He just doesn't want to admit it this time. He's trying to be stoic. You see sitting on thrones, and well, I should have had another one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 8 thrones. The throne in the center is larger and more ornate than the others. That is, and Armin explains this to you as you walk in. Up there goes Kemchan again.
Oh no!
There goes that Kemchan again. Da-dun-ting. So he says, and Kemchan will be right back, so I'm not going to fuck with all of the pictures here. We could see 3 of us. So anyway, he says the throne in the center is for the king of the mountain dwarves. There currently does not reside one. But my father, Hornfell of the Hylar, and he points to one just left of center, but you see him in the center of your page there. Real stout dwarf, not nearly as tall as Armin, but none of the dwarves really are. But you know, a real sturdy looking dwarf. He sits to the just to the left of center. To the left of him is Rance of the Dergar. Armin explains that he is another one of the Dark Dwarves. Their clan has separated from the Thywar and are more reasonable. However, they will tend to follow the lead of the Thywar. Nice is the Thane of the Daywar.
Nice.
Nice. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I'm pronouncing it nice because I go by my last name, and the EI is the I sound for me, so not the E sound. But they say he is their honorable clan. He and my father, maybe not friends, but certainly friendly, and we can trust him to be on our side. He then goes to the right of center, of the throne in the center. He says, "This is Rilgar of the Thywar. We've already talked about them, and you've met them, so probably not much to say there. Be careful, because during the rescue attempt, many of his people were killed. That being said, he also killed some of yours." He says, now the one next to Railgar is Tufa. And you see this wild looking dwarf. Like he's got wild, crazy eyes. Like he's the guy you see like in the subway at 2 a.m., you know, singing to himself on the floor. He is a wacky dude. He's got hair all over the place. His beard's all over the place.
Rom.
They say, and Armin says, I don't know what to expect from him. He could go either way. There's an empty seat of the Nidar, since there is no Thane. You know, and Flint, when he sees that,
That's your seat, right?
takes off his helmet and just, you know, puts it to his chest. And then he points off into like a distant corner with, it's not really a throne. It's more of a big chair that somebody put in and is facing the wall. And you see sort of peering around the back of it, you know, looking at you as you walk in, is Bluff of the Agar, otherwise known as the Gully Dwarf. He's not a, he is a, shoot, I gotta get his name right because there's different names and they all sound the same.
While you're looking for that, Adam, I'd like to point out that I feel like you've been really remiss in describing Armin's majestic mane of hair. Just look at that. Look at that man. It's amazing.
I could curl up in that and go to sleep.
I know, right?
Fierce too.
Yeah, he is.
It's just the whole combo. It's amazing.
Where does the hair stop? and
Ask
the
him what
beard
shampoo
begin?
he uses.
I would like to know that.
What's your grooming practices? Because that's fantastic.
Derek and Zane cannot relate.
You're like, oh,
Oh man.
so smooth.
He is a high
I
bulk.
was like, if I didn't shave my head, I could do that.
Do it. You won't.
You won't.
Now,
But
all
the
of
main
you.
just
And as he's doing that, like this light shines and he just shakes it out.
Oh.
He truly is a magnificent specimen. He is a high bulb, which is basically because all of you except for Ergrin speak Dwarven, or does Ergrin speaks Dwarven too? There's only
I
someone.
think we all speak. Oh, does Ergrin? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Erdrin
I think everybody speaks Dwarven, right?
Yep. He
So-
speaks common and dwarf.
Now, the Gully Dwarves have a slightly different language, but you can even make out.
Yeah, they
that
just say gully, 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 gully.
Yeah, it basically, his title translates into high private. So he's not really a Thane. He's just because they don't really give the rest of the dwarven clans don't really give them give a full Thane title. A high private doesn't exist in any dwarven army, let alone any army from any other race. It makes them feel better to have that, but he is just the leader of the Gully Dwarves, and they just sort of stick him off into the corner and tell him to be quiet before.
So
anything.
wrong.
Sits there, and he does. This is how he was made, the high bulb. So Armin then says, "Here, stand here." Oh, I'm sorry. You do also see off to the side with guards near them. They're not tied or chained up or anything like that, but you do see Gilthanus, Lorana, and two of the one of the elven refugees, and one of the plainsmen refugees. So there were 9. Now there's 5.
Riverwind isn't in any of those guys, is he?
No, I would have mentioned Riverwind specifically. Come on, he's such a great guy. I wouldn't leave him
Really,
out.
really
He
good.
is.
So Armin says, stand here, and I will introduce you. So he stands.
Zarek would have asked how to formally bow. Do we bow?
Yeah, what's
he
the
would have asked that
process?
before going in.
He says no. You just plant your feet firmly and stand.
Okay.
So he will step up to into the center of the room, a little bit ahead of you guys, and says, "Father, Thanes, thank you, Stephen Williams, for now following. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
And all
Thanks,
the Thanes say,
Steve.
huzzah! Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen Williams.
But that's not why I'm here today, Father. Not just to thank Stephen, but to also introduce this group. They have helped me rescue my brother, your son, Pick, from a Thywar prison. And Railgar just sort of, snarls a little bit at him, and Hornfeld gives him a dirty look, and he goes back to decorum. Says, this is in no particular order, but the way that I'm looking at it on the screen. Ergrin from the Plains.
Howdy.
Zane and Zarek from the Qualinesti Elves. Kurlithlan and Gorel from Solace.
Odd.
And Flint Fireforge, also from Solace, but of the Nidar Dwarves. And there is murmuring, and there's also other dwarves in here as well. It's not just the council. There's like a sort of a seating area, like in the back where there's and everyone is very interested in you guys. So this place is packed. It's sort of like a courtroom, for like a murder trial where everybody wants to be in there and listen.
Very like Harry Potter.
I'm glad that you compared us to a murder trial.
Yeah, that's always
Makes me
good.
feel better.
Good luck, guys. You guys saw the Game of Thrones, right? Red Wedding.
Oh, it's the only episode I've seen.
Oh, you gotta watch the whole thing. How do you just see that episode? That ruins it.
And not continue
That's all
after
you
that.
need.
Yeah, that sums it up, I think.
Honestly, if you watched the Red Wedding without watching anything leading up to it, I probably wouldn't have watched it anymore.
Yeah, I know, probably
either.
either. Yeah. So anywho, there's like murmuring in the crowd, and Hornfell stands, walks up to Flint, and says, and they're sort of like standing like nose to nose, and he says, Fireforge. Impressive lineage, dwarf. And then the two of them stand there, staring at each other for what feels like forever. Neither one of them move. They don't blink. They just stand there. Gorel, you would have known, and probably Kurlithlan too, just from stories of Flint, that this is sort of it's a greeting and a test.
Right. Right.
You don't want to be the first to back down. And you can see, now you know how stubborn Flint is, because you've traveled with him, for all of you guys, except for maybe Ergrin, who has seen glimpses of it, but the rest of you have been with Flint a long time and have seen how stubborn he is. Hornfell seems like he's just as stubborn. So the two of them stand there for some time, and then
Is completely entertained by this.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
this could be good,
25
bro.
minutes too. Like and like you guys are like sort of like
25 minutes.
Dude, this is great. Zane's like, oh, who's gonna blink?
Which, if you were a dwarf, you would think this went by real smoothly. This is a quick one.
This is smooth.
Yikes.
No,
So-
the girls like whispering, no, this is good. This is good.
And then finally Hornfell nods and says, It has been a long time since a Nidar, and the last Nidar that has stepped foot in these halls was a Fireforge, a great uncle of yours, I believe. Welcome. Welcome to all of you. And he sits back down. Armin Karis will go through the official greeting of all of the guys, which we won't go through since we just explained who they are. And Hornfell looks and he says, "Thank you, my son, and thank you for helping him rescue Pick." And he gives a dirty look to Raelgar. And he says, "I understand that you have brought others with you." And he looks over at Lorana and Gilthanas and the other two refugees. "From what Armin told me, you were here to ask for their entry into our kingdom. Yet they seem to have come on their own. Now, I
Eric's
understand."
eyes like shift over to Ergrin.
Yeah, everybody just.
He's gonna.
Yeah. I understand that there were some who were killed after entering. And he looks back at Raelgar, and Raelgar says, "It is nothing compared to what your son and these humans and elves did to my people. 15 murdered." And Hornfell says, "Well, you also imprisoned my son. Your son was in an area he should not have been. He was trespassing. We've been through this, Raelgar. I am willing to look past your indiscretions. There has been blood spilled on both sides, yours and theirs. I would request both of you let cooler heads prevail. Tell me," and he looks back at you guys, "why are you here, and why have you summoned an audience with the Thanes of Thorbardin?"
Well, there are dragons back. The gods are awoken. Lots of bad stuff's happening on the surface, and we could use some help.
The gods may have returned to humans, but they never left the dwarves.
Really? So you got a whole bunch of priests hanging out around back there, do you?
We worship in our ways, human, and you worship in yours.
I take that as a no. You got somebody who's sick back there, got like maybe a cut or something like that, or somebody who got injured pretty bad. I could help them out a little bit. I've been touched by the gods a little.
Armin says that's not necessary. Father, he did heal me during the battle. I was injured by the Thigh War, and this man, with a simple touch and a prayer, healed my wounds. All right, E.T. And there's more hushes, and it says, interesting. I understand that there are issues above. Dragons, you say? Well, that's something that I wasn't expecting, but and while I'm sorry to hear it, I don't see how, and we don't see, I should say, how that affects us, except for the fact that by breaking into our ancestral home, you broke a door that is very difficult and very costly to fix.
Bergrim pulls out the helmet and chucks
It's like,
it on
I
the
have
ground.
mending.
Clink, 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 clink.
Well, that weren't us. You want to have one of your fellers throw that helmet on, it appears to be one of your princes. His
No need, I
soul's
know
trapped
who's-
inside there.
I know whose helmet that is.
Well, he's the one who chucked back on the lever that broke your door.
That is... shit, what's his name?
Yeah, I don't know either, man.
Hold on. Graylin.
Oh, shoot.
Graylin.
Graylin.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me get my notes. Be a contributor.
Graylin spoke to Armin, didn't he? Did somebody put the helmet on and he spoke when Armin was there?
Yep.
Was that right? Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
They made me do it again.
yeah. And Armin recounts the tale of Graylin's death. And you know, the Thanes look at each other and take a moment of silence. They obviously assumed that he was dead. Graylin didn't realize it was going to take 300 years for the helmet to be, you know, found by somebody. But he says, "Thank you for this, although I wish you would treat it with more respect. This is the last remnants of one of the dead." And then Armin gestures to the last empty throne. Armin says, "This is..." And Flint also looks pissed off when you threw that onto the floor, too.
Good.
You're not making any friends here. Usually it's Zane who's not good at councils.
These are dwarves, man. Zane's totally cool with dwarves.
Yeah, no, you look a little weird, but they have no problem with you so far. He says, "I wish you would take more care for a relic of the dead." And Armin points to that throne and says,
Well, I
The
wish you
empty
would
throne-
take more care of treating people who come to your door in need with hospitality.
Flint walks over to you and just punches you in the gut and says, "Shut
What the
up.
hell you do that for?
One, you need to watch what you say. If you expect any of these people to be allowed in there, and if you expect us to be let out alive, don't be an idiot."
Nah, fair
After
enough.
Flint punches him in the gut, Zarek turns to Gorell and is like, "Oh shit!"
Oh no!
My apologies. I'm a little rough
Oh,
around
man,
the
somebody.
edges. I'm used to doing things the way we do out on the plains. Doesn't really translate up in here, so I apologize if I've offended you.
Says, "Understood." I says, Hornfell, and Flint will go and pick up the helmet. He doesn't put it on though.
No, they're gonna hand it back to me.
No, he doesn't. He just holds on to it. Armin gestures over to the other empty seat and says, "This is in honor of the kingdom of the dead. We treat our dead with reverence here in Thorbardin. We don't toss away any aspect of their memory the way that you tossed away that helmet. So please be more considerate in the future."
Sure.
Yeah, there, they buy it. So he says, Hornfell then says, "So am I right to assume that you expect us to allow hundreds of humans and what have you enter and stay here?
Well, you do have a lot of empty space. We saw on the way here, a lot of unused areas of the city. Perhaps a small area could be set aside for them.
Zane goes
No. And
Zane
then,
goes to say something, and Zarek puts his hand
Yeah.
yep, exactly what just happened. Don't you dare, bro.
Yeah.
You're doing so well.
Don't ruin it.
Railgar says, why should we do this? Why should we let in trouble? Which is all that we're going to get. There's already been trouble from these intruders who broke in to our home. Let's not forget this, fellows.
You ever notice how every council has one just total asshole on it?
Yeah.
They sound a
It's
lot
a quota.
Like,
It's a quota.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
they
my
do.
asshole council member voice. Yeah.
My asshole council member just sounds like a Karen. That's Railgar's first name is Karen.
Yeah, Karen Railgar.
Karen Railgar.
But it's like spelled with a Y.
right?
Yeah.
Two Y's.
Like Kaeryn.
right.
Yeah.
That totally makes it fantasy.
Yep.
Not
Two
in
ends,
my
maybe?
back cave. So
I mean-
yeah, you should. Why should you do that?
Yes.
Because the gods are back, and that means the good gods and the bad gods.
Rayorks
and-
never left the dwarves.
Yeah, okay, but if Takesis is back and wants to destroy you, that's a problem for everybody, not just the people on the surface.
There's more.
Also,
And
like-
thanks to Graylin, your place is open now, as you
Also-
yourselves have said.
Also, the people just need a place to stay, and they're starving and dying. So it'd be nice if they could stay here, so that way we don't have to keep having them follow us around and finding a place. But also because they need a place to stay.
That's getting real annoying.
We should let Zarek do more of the negotiating. Yeah, I really want to get rid of these guys. This is this is something
hanging
I
around.
don't want on my shoulders anymore. I'd like to put it on yours.
That's great. That's exactly right.
He's just nicer about it than
Yep.
Fade is. He's a little bit more like sensitive. Zane's kind of just very like cold and rational about it.
Tell us more about what is going on in the world above.
We saw a dragon.
You've seen 3 dragons.
We've seen
Yeah, I know.
Underselling.
Only one cool one. One worth mentioning. Anything else?
There's entire armies being led by dragon lords attacking all over, killing thousands.
I really want to know if Bloof knows that hit like 30 of his people went over.
He doesn't,
Like, died.
luckily for you, yeah. That's a different clan.
Yeah,
Luckily.
yeah,
Far away from here.
yeah.
There are dragon lords that we kill and they come back. There's like all sorts of weirdness going on. And these people were, Flint is telling him about how they were slaves and we freed them and they're just looking for some place to be that's safe.
Yeah, and Flint will add, you locked
Oh, yeah, no.
my people out before the cataclysm, causing hundreds of deaths. First, during the Dwarfgate War, then during the cataclysm. Maybe it's time to do the right thing now. And this time, Nice stands up and says, the right thing The last time the Hill Dwarves came here, they brought with them a black-robed mage not unsimilar to that one, and he points at Zane.
That's my bro.
And they were here to rob and steal from us. What makes us think that you're not here to do the same?
Well, Flint will point at Gurel and says, I've had that one since he was a baby. And then he points at the twins and he says, I've known them since they were very young. If anybody can vouch for them, I can.
And who's going to watch for you? And Hornfeld says, his name speaks for itself. There is there is honor in the Fireforge name, and Flint sort of puffs his chest up a little bit at that. You've given us things to think about. I ask that everybody clear the room so that we may discuss what can be done. That includes the gallery, you know, and everyone's mumbling and grumbling and mad that they have to leave. Says, Armin, if you would escort our guests to the antechamber, and we will call upon them when we have made our decision. So Armin nods, looks over at the other dwarves, which are Thywar dwarves, and says, we'll take them too. And is talking about Lorana and Gilthanis and the other refugees. They look over at Raelgar, who gives a scowl, looks over at Hornfeld. Hornfeld nods. Reluctantly, Raelgar says, safer if we know that they're all together. And the guards release their 4 prisoners to Armin, who will bring everybody into a small room off of the main hall. There are chairs here. There are there's like a buffet table in the back. There is refreshments. You guys
is there water for Urgrin?
There's like it's like this overflowing fountain that like flows into another part of like bowl, and it's a lot of water.
They're gonna get upset if I stick my feet in
Just
there.
about to say that. He
Don't do
loves
it.
water.
Urgrin loves water.
Urgen likes to take a bath,
No, we're good.
Right in front of everyone?
Ew.
but
No.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
I don't want to take a bath in a fountain. I'm not a savage.
So they Armin leaves, so it's just you guys in this room, along with Lorana, Gilthanis, and Lorana runs over and hugs Zarek, and then composes herself and stands back. And
Yeah, I told you you'd find your boyfriend eventually.
Why'd you guys come?
Oh, we're not. Oh.
well,
Oh,
Gilthanis says, well, we got a letter from a bird that was sent by Urgrin saying that it was safe and the doors were open and that we should come immediately. So we packed up everything we could and left. Unfortunately, we weren't able to take everything, and the way is very treacherous, as I'm sure you know, since you came through that way. So
yep.
There were originally 9 of us. 5 were killed by a surprise attack by some of those dwarves. The others are on the other side of the ravine, out in the open, have been now for a couple of hours. I'm concerned about them, but it was very dangerous pass, and well, there are a number of people who are afraid of going over it and falling through. Goldmoon included apparently has a fear of heights, and this group volunteered to go and to talk to you about this, but unfortunately you were not there. We didn't know where to find you, and as we were exploring the ruins, we were set upon by the dwarves. We were lucky to escape with our lives, as we were completely unprepared. Ergrin,
when I said everyone, y'all didn't get that part of the message.
You didn't mention anything about the narrow pass leading to a ledge 1,000 feet below.
Well, there's this thing. It's called a single line. It's like you get one person behind each other.
Keep in mind, you guys had to make dexterity checks to make sure you didn't fall just walking through there, even in a single file. It was not easy traversing there.
Let's just put it this way. I mean, you got to be able to help yourself sometimes. This here's got an open door with the.
Yes, but if you're going to
put down some boards, man.
It's not about boards. There's no room to put them.
Man, you could have done something. We got past.
Right, but you probably should have mentioned that, and you probably should have mentioned that it
Did you see how small that piece of paper I had was?
It wasn't safe.
I had to draw a map and put a note on.
Right, but the original plan was that you were going to see if it was safe and then come back and get us.
It's safe.
5 people died.
I can't help it if y'all didn't come over in force now, can I? That's your mistake, man. It's all right. I forgive you.
Elliston said we could trust you, and I'm not sure that that's the case.
Gorell's like, God damn it, you fucked up.
What are you talking about? You got so many hundred of y'all, and you couldn't figure out how to get past that one little jump? Come on now.
Well, it's a good thing they didn't, or more would have been slaughtered once we entered.
You got a whole dragon army breathing down your neck.
Right, there's a dragon army on one side and a dwarven army on the other.
Yeah, well, the dwarves
neither one seemed very happy to see us.
Look, you got 2 alternatives. You stay where you were, you would have died by the dragon's full sword. You come up here like I told y'all to, in force. You'd be up in here chatting with the dwarves, waiting for them to make their minds up. One's a little bit better than the other.
Just turns a fucking idiot human. He just mumbles under under his breath.
That's why you've been leading the way. Oh wait, you haven't.
Yes, well, neither of you, and for some reason.
Well, I just found out. Been talking to my god. You know, getting all holied up, whatnot.
Is that how they say it? I'm just getting all holied up.
Boy.
It's all right. I forgive you.
Oh, God. Gilpinus just sits at a table and just with his head in his hands like this. About an hour later, the door opens and it is Armin, and he says they're ready with their verdict. As soon as you guys get back into the chamber, Railgar starts going off on, we need to remember that the Hill Dwarves and the humans attacked us. We have to remember that before the cataclysm, the elves went back to their woods and hid. And Hornfell says, we discussed this, and we have decided. And then he looks at you after a sigh and says, it is true that the humans brought the cataclysm upon the world. And it is true that the Nidar made war on Thorbardin. However, dark times are here again. And ancient grudges must not control our destiny. Here then is the decision of the council that whosoever recovers the Hammer of Charis, that person will the Dwarves of Thorbardin befriend. If you agree to our terms and bring the hammer to us, then your people may pass. There is one other condition.
Wait, I'm sorry. Let's go back to the first condition.
Wait. The council
Okay.
speaks. The other condition is that those four, and he points at Lorana, Giltinus, and the two prisoners, remain here as prisoners for your safe return, and will be released upon your return with the hammer.
So we go into the depths, find this hammer, bring it back, do what we want.
You may stay here for a time. This cannot be a permanent home, but we will ensure the safety of your people and you. As long as you
Bergren
bring us
raises
the hammer.
his hand.
Yes.
You think we could let the rest of the folk that are huddled up on the mountainside, just inside the door, wait until we come back with that hammer? You can have them all as prisoners, too, until we get back.
From what I understand, there are almost 700 prisoners.
Correct.
They will wait outside. We will provide an armed escort made up of all of the clans to ensure their safety until you return.
Better than nothing. Thank you.
Where do we start looking?
You need to go to Khalil Sruth, the Valley of the Thanes. There are buried the dwarven dead. We believe that the hammer resides there. Armin, upon hearing this, looks like super upset. Like, he's been pretty even keel up until this. And he says, Father, please, you must allow me to go with them. This quest is my birthright. Not theirs, not these strangers. Mine. Allow me to go with them to find the hammer which is rightfully mine. Says Hornfell. Looks at the others. Nice and Rance will nod. Tufa nods. Relgar. Doesn't matter to me if he puts himself in harm's way. Hornfell looks at Armin, looks at the rest of you, and says, okay. If you feel that you must journey with them, I will allow it. I beg you be careful, Armin. And the rest of you. There are untold dangers in the Valley of the Thanes. It is also a place that demands your respect. And he looks directly at Ergrin when he says that.
Ergrin smiles.
He looks over at Curlathon and says, you had a question?
Yeah, how long have you known where this hammer is? And I'm just wondering, like, and I look over at Armin. I'm like, it's kind of weird that your dad didn't tell you that he knew where your hammer is.
We don't know for sure that it is there. It is our best guess. As I said, there are dangers there.
Wouldn't it be there?
Well, there are rumors of undead that walk those halls. They aren't necessarily evil. That being said, it does pose a danger. And Armin looks at you and says, and because of such, my father, Thane of the Hylar, has forbid me to go.
Oh, so you knew. Okay, cool.
So, but I would be honored to travel with you. And he does this, it seems like to spite the rest of the council, to claim my birthright, to help our people, to help your people, as you have helped me and my brother.
Oh, it's good. I would feel bad if we went to get your hammer without you. So,
I felt terrible about it too. I couldn't believe that. And then he says, "Nope. Armin, control yourself. Get him. 1, 2.
Zarek will inquire. Zarek will ask if Armin has soldiers he wants to bring along as some extra padding.
No.
Okay.
It's not the D&D way.
I believe the DM doesn't want to deal with all of that extra bullshit.
Just to have them die really quick. Oh, look, all your retainers are gone.
This is a quest that I should go on alone. That being said, I understand that this is something that will help you, and I am willing to partner with you in this endeavor. You have proven yourself to be people of your word. And you hear like somebody in the gallery, even that guy, and people talking about Ergrin, like, seriously, he seems a little off to me. I don't know. And then Hornfell says, "Are you all in agreement to these terms, which are non-negotiable?"
Yep, sounds good to me.
If they're not negotiable, then
I mean, you could agree. You could just not do it and then go on your merry way.
I'm down to find a hammer.
Yeah, let's help Armin
I
find
found
hammer.
Yeah, girl starts
Armin
talking.
deserves his hammer.
Girl goes like, I found this one. Oh, let me tell you the story about this one.
Perhaps later.
But nudges him. Shut up.
All right. Well, if you are all in agreement, we will adjourn the council. That being said, because of this momentous occasion, and he claps his hands, Armin. And Armin walks to the center of the room, and 2 female dwarves come in, a woman and a child. The woman has a lute.
Yeah, she does.
And they stand beside Armin Karas. And Armin says, "We shall now recite the Song of Karas as the history of our people, and to show the importance to the outsiders of this hammer." So now bear with me a second as I get this teed up. Special thank you to 10-year-old Kaylin, who helped me out with this earlier today. So here is the Song of Karas. as told by this little kid and Armin.
I'm so excited. So is Zarek.
Three were the thoughts of those in Thorbardin, in the dark after Jurgoth, when the ogres danced.
One was the lost light, the limping darkness, in the caves of the kingdom where light crumbles. One, the despair of the dwarf thane Durkin, gone to the gloom of the Tower of Glory. One of the world, weary and wounded, down to the deep of the Darkling's waters.
Under the arch of the highland, under the ceiling of stone, under the wane of the world's glory, home, under home.
Ignore the part where I mess up the guitar part. Then was Chorus among us, the keeper of kings, the hand on the hammer, arm of the Hylar. At the gleaming gravesite of golden garnet, 3 sons of the Thane he buried thereunder. While Durkin saw dark upon dark in the tunnels, in the halls of the nation saw nooses and knives. Killers and kingmakers came to Chorus with agate and amethyst, asking allegiance.
Under the heart of the highland, under the ceiling of stone, under the wane of the world's glory, home, under home.
But the stalwart in heart is strong as a stone, and bold and unbending his mind to the better. The hammer of Hylar was firm in the halls, denying all discord, all doubt and division. He turned from intrigue, from the wild tunnels, out to the open, one oath swearing that time nor treachery shall ever tarnish the hammer's return in a time of great troubles.
Under the heart of the highland, under the ceiling of stone, under the wane of the world's glory, home, under home.
And then the child and the dwarven bard escort themselves out of the hall, and Hylar says, "And thus the council is adjourned. Rayorks, guide you on your journey." And the gallery starts disappearing. the Hylar stand, walk out of the room through a door in the back, and you are left with Armin.
I think that Carlothon was momentarily struck deaf by the awesomeness of that song.
It was
Kaylin
pretty
is
great.
awesome, isn't she? Let's give it a round of applause for Kaylin, by the way.
Meaning
not
I didn't
down
actually
here,
hear any of it.
What?
Unfortunately, did not hear it because my hearing.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were playing it. I couldn't
Yeah.
hear it.
You have
None of us
you don't
heard
have
that.
you don't have the sound on then.
It's
Sound
just
of
my
what?
hearing aids. Like I do have the sound on my Roll20. It just doesn't work with my hearing
Yeah.
aids when they're connected
Yes,
to something else.
I
But
didn't hear a
I
thing.
fully plan on listening to
You
the
got to go
replay.
back and watch it because
I absolutely
so those
will.
in chat got to hear it.
It was
Yeah.
pretty great.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Jason heard it.
That's,
Aren't you going to post that around on the other Dragonlance plays pages and stuff there, Adam?
I mean, it's
Oh, that'd be cool.
yeah. The words are copyrighted, so I don't know.
You're not
Mm.
making money off it. I think you'd be
I'm
fine.
not making any money off it. That's for sure.
There you go.
Anyway, so you were left with Armin.
So when do we leave?
I'm ready whenever you are. Do you need time to gather things? Is there equipment needed? Or are you ready to go? We can provide provisions.
Provisions would probably be good. How long is the journey?
It'll take us roughly 4 hours to get there.
We should be able to do this in a day or so.
That's assuming we find the hammer. We might not find it right away.
Right. So we'll need at least a few days worth of provisions, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know exactly how long it'll take once we are inside.
So if you could secure us a few days worth of provisions, that'd be great.
Of course. And is there anything else you need? It looks like you're pretty well set with weapons and armor, and I've seen you in a fight. And I don't know that there's anything more that we can provide than what you already have.
Is there anything
I was
that you
gonna
would
say. Like,
advise that we take into?
I've never been inside, so I don't know.
Okay.
Says, well then, I'll send for somebody to gather provisions. We will meet outside and begin our quest. This is going to be a truly momentous occasion. Friends. And he puts his arm out to Flint first, who reluctantly, reluctantly shakes it. And then he does this, holds his hand out to the rest of you. Ergrin last. I would like Gorell and Zane to make history checks. Gorell with advantage.
history check.
I'm gonna spend an inspiration on that.
Okay. Well, Gorell listened to this part of history because it involved a hammer.
Yeah, definitely. He was all into it.
Yeah, so both of you remember, and as after you guys are sort of escorted outside, and you're just sort of.
Oh wait,
hanging out.
Chemchan rolled a nat 20.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Mhm.
yeah. He's why he was paying attention to. I mean, it still only counts as a 19, but it was more than enough, more than what he needed. Zane knows this through his study of the Dragon Wars, mostly because of the role that your father played in the third one. And Gorell would know this through listening to endless stories from Flint. Mostly during the 5 years that you guys were together coming down here. He was sort of waxing poetic about dwarven things, this being one of them. The Hammer of Karis is known to both of you as a key. Well, I take it back. Known to Zane as one of the important pieces of forging DragonLance. Now, whether this is just guesswork, you don't know how much of the story was embellished, during the things that you've read, but you did read in, one passage in one history book, a conversation about not a conversation, but a passage about a man with a silver arm and the hammer of Charis, forging the Dragonlances, which were used to defeat the evil chromatic dragons. Gorell, you haven't heard that necessarily. You know that this is a really famous hammer among the dwarves. It was named for the dwarven hero Charis, obviously, since it's called the Hammer of Charis, who wielded the hammer during the Dwarfgate Wars, although the hammer was forged more than 2,000 years prior to that great battle. History prior to Charis records it as being called the Hammer of Honor. It was changed because of the heroic deeds of Charis. It was changed in his honor. It was forged originally by the dwarves. Oh, and there goes Kim-chan. But we'll continue anyway because we're running out of time for this. There he is. Perfect timing. Now you're back. It was forged by the dwarves of Thorbardin as a replica of the Hammer of Rayorks, who is the forger of the world, the dwarven god, the god who made dwarves, and then subsequently gnomes and kender. Although the dwarves will not admit to that second part and refuse to believe it when people tell them. The dwarves presented it to Urgoth as an offering of peace. Urgoth is an area, human lands west of here, northwest and west of Qualinesti. The annual passage of the hammer among Urgoth, the Qualinesti, and Thorbardin was symbolic of the sword sheath scroll, which is not easy to say. The treaty signed between the three nations of humans, elves, and dwarves the year prior. From Urgoth, it passed to the Qualinesti, where the hammer was used by Kith Cannon, who was a famous elven hero and was the leader of the original Qualinesti elves after they split from their Sylvanesti cousins. And it was used to Kith Cannon used it to forge the great arched bridges of Qualinost, the ones that you guys have lived in and have seen. And so Zane would have heard this part of it. Connecting them to the Hall of the Sky before it was passed back to Urgoth once again for political purposes. The hammer would remain with Urgoth for centuries until it would appear once again during the Third Dragon War, and this is back where Zane's information comes in, when Huma, Dragonbane, sought out the dwarven smith in Urgoth, bearing the blessed silver arm of Urgoth and the Hammer of Honor. The dwarven smith, with the divine power of the Hammer of Charis and the silver arm, was able to forge the first dragon lances, giving them to Huma. The hammer then disappeared once again. Unfortunately, you guys rolled well, so you get all this information. The hammer disappeared once again until it was given to the dwarven hero Charis by the Kaolan dwarves during the early Shadow years. The Kaolan dwarves are north. During the early Shadow years following the Cataclysm, Charis was a brave, honorable dwarf whose deeds won him admiration from dwarves and humans alike. Indeed, it was the Solamnics who gave him the name Charis, meaning knight in ancient Solamnic. When humans and hill dwarves approached Thorbardin in 39 AC, they were defeated by Durkan, the reigning High King. The humans and hill dwarves united under the banner of the Black Wizard Fistantantalus, and thus began the Dwarfgate War. Many died during the battles between the two forces, including the two sons of Durkan, mentioned in the song that you guys didn't hear. Karis carried their bodies back to his king, but while he was gone, Fistantantalus unleashed a powerful magic that devastated the region, destroying most of both armies and creating Skullcap. In his grief, Durkan sealed the gates of Thorbardin, giving in to his despair. Since he no longer had any heirs, the other Thanes began plotting against the stricken king, turning to Karis to support their claims. Disgusted by the machinations, Karis left Thorbardin, wandering Ansalon, the continent, only to return just prior to Durkan's death, less than a decade later. Appearing only long enough to speak one last time with his beloved king, Karis proclaimed to the great Thanes, and this is something that Armin would have told you as you're leaving. Too late, our Lord found that we must live together in this world or perish apart. It will be many years before we ourselves will learn this hard lesson, if we learn it at all. I am leaving, and the hammer with me. The world has abandoned honor. The hammer will be hidden for generations to come. Only when a good and honorable dwarf comes to unite the nations shall the hammer of Karis return. It will be his badge of righteousness. He then disappeared once more, taking the hammer with him. Since Karis' disappearance, no dwarf has seen or learned of the hammer's location, so that's why this is only a guess on where it is, or at least to lead you in that direction, because maybe there might be information in the Valley of the Thanes if, in fact, the hammer is not there. So, anyway,
After that whole story, I'm a little confused why it's the Hammer of Karas.
because they changed it because of they liked
They
him
used
so much,
it, and he was like a
super
hero.
popular.
Yeah.
So
Right, but
Very
it seems like everything that happened with the hammer before Karas was more important than when Karas
Yeah.
had it.
yeah, I know. It's
It's just like, you know what? I'm gonna give this hammer my name.
yeah. It's like he bought the rights to it like a football stadium. Like he
It's the hammer of Skybank.
yeah. So anyway, that's where we're going to end tonight's episode 3 of Dragons of Desolation. So next time we are going to head off to the Valley of Thanes and see what crazy business we find out there. And it is crazy. So you guys want to make sure you check back next Friday. Will, what's happening this coming Wednesday?
This coming Wednesday is the first episode of I knew I was going to mess it up. Blood and Gold.
Golden Blood.
A Deadlands Weird West game starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I just completely messed that up all over the place.
Yeah, you fucked that up. I would ask you what's going on Tuesday, but I don't trust you. Tuesday nights, we are continuing our journey in the world of Greyhawk, where Will is Will.dm versus Will.player. And KD and I are in that, along with Michael and Wes. And we play Greyhawk Adventures, 9 p.m. Eastern Time each Tuesday. And then, of course, Fridays here, we have DragonLance, where we go through the original models, yes, in 5e, because who the hell remembers how to play the other editions? Not this guy.
Not Adam.
That's for damn sure. I don't think I ever played first edition. I know I played second a lot and a little of third. Never played fourth, but who did? So, fifth it is. Although it's still pretty dangerous considering it's a first level module, but the 5th level characters are a little beefier, although I have killed 2 of Will's already.
And we're using original characters.
All original characters.
And the original characters from the books are NPCs.
Yes, some appearing in weird and strange situations. So anyway, check us out here. You can also catch me once a month, although not this month, and that's my fault because I couldn't make it. But start November 21st is our next game. Once a month, DragonLance. This is rough for all of us here. DragonLance Nexus has a game. I show up in the 4th episode. You can go search that on YouTube if you want to, and we'll be back on the 21st for episode number 5. And I'm also going to be on the DragonLance Canticle, which is the DragonLance Nexus's podcast in a couple weeks.
That's
so
cool.
Check
Nice.
that out. We're going to talk about this game and the other game.
All right.
So anyway, so check that out. Check all the things out here, of course. Check us out on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube at Mr. Adam PL. Like, subscribe, all of those things. Thank you guys again for hanging out with us here on D&D Friday. So
And we're going to raid into Praetor's Rejects, so keep going.
Okay, we'll raid into Praetor's Rejects, so don't go nowhere. So for Gaz, Kemchan, Jason, KD, and Will.Playa, I'm Adam. Don't forget to be nice and kind to one another. Be safe out there, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, wait, what? One
It's
more
ticking
second.
down.
Now,
There it
goodbye.
goes.